Crolister, the Master Opponent. In this video, I will be playing Tinkle Pit, an arcade game by Namco from 1993, and a recent addition to Arcade Archives. So, yeah. This game was a Japan only until Arcade Archives, and I'm sure a lot of you know what tinkle means in English. Not to worry, that's not what the game is about. The demo sequence explains the story. Just keep in mind that the entire game almost is in Japanese, so. The main character's name is Pit, like Pit from Kid Icarus, and he also has a sister that the secondary player controls. You can play the game in co-op if you wish. So the kids go out and have to rescue their friends and family by defeating a demon with the help of their Tinker Balls, which are the bells that they have. As you can see from the demo sequence. So, there's a tutorial in the intro. It's actually A and B in the other order in the game itself. So. Here we go. Just so you know, I use pause saves to play these arcade game long plays, because I'm not a master player, as you should guess. So, yeah. You simply hold the button down to put the Tinker Ball in place, and you basically create a track that shows you where the ball is going to go after you release it. And after you release the button, it'll take out any enemies that get in its way. And that's how you fight them. There are also power-ups and bonus items. Like, the shoes power-up that I got increases your movement speed slightly. There are these glowing balls, which you can grab and use to throw at an enemy that you can take out in front of you. Use those wisely. And most importantly of all are the bonus items, which in the first world is the mushrooms and apples. Try to get all 8 of the big bonus items in every stage for a perfect bonus and maximum score. As you pick up an apple, the mushroom will turn into an apple, and the next mushroom in sequence will appear. Try to get all of the apples and none of the mushrooms. This game has a lot of references to other arcade games by Namco. The Toy Soldier enemies are actually from Toy Pop, another arcade game by Namco, and these are clearly Pookas from Dig Dug. The Pookas will phase through the walls every so often, as they do in the Dig Dug game. If there's one enemy left, it'll try to escape, so, you have that as well. So now we're in the next world, which is Clearly a reference to Toy Pop. In addition to the toy soldiers from that game being enemies, you also have a set of stages that references the 1986 title that people only know because of Namco Museum Volume 1. If an enemy's escaping, it's pretty much going to do that unless you have a throwing ball. So, yeah. Instead of the mushrooms and apples, you have dolls resembling Pino and Acha from the Toy Pop game. Try to get all of the Achas. There are also bonus sprites of other arcade games by Namco, like the Miyauki from Mappy that just appeared right there. If you get them before they vanish, you can get some extra bonus points. I'm focusing more on getting the bonuses than destroying all the enemies. Alright then. That's, enemy from the game Warp and Warp. There are also Fygars from Big Doug as well. That'll blow fire every so often, so gotta be careful where they appear. I'll also have you know that enemy attacks, like Fygar's fire, can go through the walls, so be extra careful there. Those are about the only enemies, really, that are from other Namco games. The Big Doug enemies and the Toy Soldiers. The other enemies are original Tinkle Pit characters. There are certain power-ups, like the one I got that causes the Tinker Ball to electrify enemies while you're holding it. Just keep in mind that it's single use. The Pac-Man power-up temporarily turns you into Pac-Man and the enemies into ghosts. Try to get them all. You saw the Galaxian alien that appeared as well. So, yeah. You see that spider robot enemy? They're very fast, and will occasionally pause to shoot a 4-way projectile shot that will stun you rather than kill you. That derpy-looking insect down there is from the game Gapulus. I wasn't able to get it, so... The next set of stages is a reference to Emeraldia, a 1993 puzzle action game. It even has the same exact music. From the specific game's soundtrack, I mean. We got seashells as the bonus items. That's an Edaru missile from Bosconian. The missiles that the bases shoot out of their cores. These plump, fruit-looking enemies will throw bottles that go straight through objects and cannot be deflected. So you gotta watch where they're attacking. Keep in mind that attacks go through walls. Gotta get the shells. That's more important than destroying the enemies. There's a mosquito. Why would they choose that of all of the character sprites from Galaga? One of Namco's most iconic games ever. Yeah. See how the Fygars can blow fire through the wall. You only get one score extend the entire game, and it's like Toy Pop. Instead of directly getting the 1-up, a special flag will appear, and you pick it up to get the extra life. There's a level rabble mushroom. Every so often, there will be this surge that'll come to the Tinkerball and create a spark that'll chase after you. So, watch out for that as well. The arrow shots from Copy from Xevious. The arrow shots from the spider bots stun you, not kill you. So, keep that in mind. This causes a bunch of rocks from Dig Dug to fall into place in randomly selected spots and smash enemies to get underneath. Alright, one more world. One more world before the midpoint, I mean. I screwed up every single stage in this world before the recording. You got the Mona Lisa painting from Mappy. Yeah. The worlds are played in sequence, by the way. You can't freely select what one before you want to do next. What does it say on the brown squares on the floor? Blackie cookie? That's kind of racist, Namco. Now, I've played almost every arcade game by Namco thus far, and I have no idea what that green spike ball is from, honestly. Now these robots that start to appear beginning on this stage. You see, they have a tendency to dodge your attack, so you have to let go of the Tinkerball as soon as it's over top them in order to actually destroy them. There's a level rabble enemy. There's a safe. Possibly Mappy related, though it's not the same color. Just barely got the bonus items. Right then. There are these little ball-shaped big nose enemies as well. Gotta be extra careful with the robots and their eye beams. They can corner you while you're not expecting it. There's a Galaxian boss, super iconic sprite from Namco. Alright, so now we got a boss. To defeat the boss, you gotta hit him with the Tinker Ball as much as you can. A longer drag with the Tinker Ball will do more damage to the boss than a shorter drag will. And you have to beat him fast enough, which makes matters worse. He uses a beam attack that'll create temporary pitfalls in the ground, so you gotta watch out for them. The toy soldiers can also ambush you easily, so keep your guard up. Then there's this intermission here. That demon you see there is the main villain. He's warping all of Pit and the other girl's friends to a different realm. And now we got another set of even more difficult stages. You want to go for the big UFOs for the perfect bonus. And you have these chicks that'll shoot these spike balls a little bit of a distance, so be careful of that. If there's only a few enemies left so that the music changes, their movement speed increases also. There are also power-ups you can get every so often in different playthroughs that'll nuke all of the enemies on the stage, basically. Like this penguin that'll cause a blizzard with falling penguins, humorously. And they're gone. More points for more enemies you wipe out at once. Just be wary of the perfect bonus. There's Goro from Mappy. Or the Namco if you want to play by the Japanese origins. You see that vase on the right side? Those spew out bugs, and if they latch onto your Tinker Ball, it'll significantly slow it down. You can simply crush them by having Pit walk directly on them, like you can crush bugs like that in real life. so. Yeah, you're gonna have to run away. Boo. Alright, next up, the Ancient Temple. You want to go for the crowns for the perfect bonus. Avoid the robots and their eye beams. Remember to hit them as the Tinkerball is right over top them, or they will dodge you. You can also throw the ball at them if you're up close and have one. Gotta be careful as the enemies can corner you easily. There's a bell. Which could be a reference to Pac-Man or Mappy. There's also this whirlwind power-up from Cosmo Game the Video, which creates a cloud of smoke that'll hit enemies up close. There's a mirror. I'm not sure what game that's supposed to be from. Helios? I'm not sure. It could be from Libble Rabble, also. It might be one of the Libble Rabble's treasures. This stage has only Pookas as enemies, and a lot of them. Keep in mind that they can phase through walls. There's a Molek from Fozon. I love how this game references a bunch of other Namco arcade games. Even if you fail to hit an enemy at the last minute with the ball, you still get 100 extra points for throwing it anyway. We're gonna go for the full treasure chests for the perfect bonus. Here's a key from Pac-Man. The graphics are enhanced on them. The knights will lose their armor, and then the angry, unarmored versions of them will run after you at high speed. If you're quick, you can overtop them and zap them with the Tinkle Ball at that very moment once again. You just have to do it before they start moving, or you'll take a hit and lose stock. Nice try, Fygar. There's the Galaxian from Galaxian. I find it funny that they have more references to Galaxian in this game than Galaga, with Galaga being the vastly superior game by fame and popularity, even though I'm awesome at Galaxian, just in case you couldn't tell from my previous video about Namco games to this one. Seriously though, I love Galaxian. Only barely got the last chest. Heck yeah. Because I'm the master opponent. You have just a few seconds longer to get the bonus items if an enemy escapes. And if an enemy escapes while there are no bonus items left, the stage ends there and then. So, a little bit of a tidbit for you. A watermelon from Big Bag. Alright, now, the final world is where it gets a little tedious. You want to go for the larger pit statues. There's a packet from the Baraduke series. That character is from, I think, Cutie Q, or if not, then GB or Bombi. None of those games are on arcade archives as of yet, so I haven't played any of them. Got the Pac-Man item again. Nice. I'm gonna focus more on getting the statues than the enemies. So I missed one of them. Sandra from the Valkyrie games. Originally the Adventure of Valkyrie in 1986 on, like, the Famicom. Then the Legend of Valkyrie in the arcade in 1989. So... This stage really made me mad during the recording, as you could probably imagine. Alright, so now we got a final boss to fight. A very hard one. In the first phase, he has ghosts from Pac-Man wandering around. And we'll have these generators that shoot a beam across one another. Then he'll do an attack where he sends bolts across the open chambers, like this. They go in the order that the rainbow's colors are arranged in. Roy G. Bill, if that helps you remember. Alright, new phase. In this phase, he assumes the form of you and has his own Tinkerball that you need to watch out for as well. This phase isn't as hard as the previous one, in my opinion, though still tough. The hardest phase of them all by far. The flame pillar attack, followed by the scatter shot that he does, makes him one of the hardest bosses you'll fight in a lot of Namco games. This is not a fun boss at all, just so you know. The third phase of this boss is insanity-inducing fights. Just remember that if you lose a stock in this game, you instantaneously respawn and keep going. So, if you're a casual. Bonus points for how many stocks you have left, how quickly you beat the game, and number of perfect areas. And then you get more points if less enemies escape in each of the stages. I had a lot of escapes, as you can see, focusing more on the perfects. Then the guy's bowing at you like Dr. Wily does. And he basically promises to restore the world back to what it was. Everyone that was turned to stone is being reverted. That's their parents calling for them. They got credits, and I'm guessing an epilogue. They got Cosmo Gangs. There's the scabless flies. Mosquitoes. Edaroos. Strawberries. Prize grabber with the characters from Emeraldia. Mushrooms from Rebel Rabble. Copies from Xevious. Dig Dug himself also appears in this game's credits. Goro or Namco from Mappy. Tatorians from Motos. Mollix from Fozon. The Keys from Pac-Man. Packets from Baraduke. Sky Kid, Red Baron. The antagonist is getting whooped. This falcon shape is from Tank Battalion. That's the headquarters symbol. And then we got the enemies from Warp and Warp. Those characters and more appear in the game as bonus items. Then there's one last scene where Pit takes a photograph of him and his friends. Much like the characters from Toy Pop, they were being mind controlled, basically. And then for the leaderboard entry, you can have Kai from The Return of Ishtar or Valkyrie from The Legend of Valkyrie running along the bottom as you input your name. As another cameo. Then after you register your score on the leaderboard, it'll show you how far you progressed, how many credits you used in the playthrough, and symbols to show you what world you got perfects in. And with that ends the long play. This is definitely an interesting game by Namco, indeed. I like how it references a bunch of other Namco arcade games, as I am a massive fan of their lineup for the most part. So, yeah, nice little experience. I was glad I was given the chance to properly play this game. And I look forward to seeing what else might turn up on Arcade Archives by Namco a bit from here. There's just a few more currently on the lineup that I still have yet to play, so look forward to those and more from me. I am Crowster, Master of Ponage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you. Bye.